The gathering storm. The dark of space stretched endless, a silent ocean where stars shimmered like cold eyes. Far from Earth, beyond the colonies and trade routes, something massive moved. The alien fleet had arrived. Hundreds of warships, black and gleaming, spread across the void like predators circling prey. Their formation was perfect, their weapons hot and ready. This was not a scouting party. This was an armada built to crush entire civilizations. On the edge of a human colony world, the aliens prepared for war. Their ships carried banners of power, glowing symbols that told stories of worlds already conquered. They had fought countless battles and won them all. To them, humanity was only the next easy victim. They expected resistance, of course. Humans had ships, weapons, and courage. But in their minds, the outcome was already decided. Victory was theirs. The alien commanders spoke with calm certainty. Across their channels, voices full of arrogance filled the silence. The humans will come with a fleet. They will gather their best, and we will burn them down. Their confidence was iron, but the battlefield remained quiet. The alien fleet waited, scanning the edge of the system. Their sensors reached far, searching for the wave of human ships they believed must be coming. Seconds stretched into minutes. No fleet appeared. No armada rose to meet them. Only the colony planet below remained silent, its lights glowing faintly across the night side. Whispers moved through the alien crews. Where was humanity's defense? Why had no fleet come? Some commanders began to laugh. They are afraid. They will not fight. Perhaps they will surrender before we fire a single shot. The arrogance grew stronger, and then it happened. From the shadow of the planet's moon, a single shape emerged. It was not a fleet, not a formation of ships. It was just one vessel. Its engines burned faint blue as it moved into the open, turning slowly to face the alien armada. Compared to the massive swarm of alien warships, the human vessel looked small, fragile even. Its size was nothing against the thousands of alien guns waiting for it. But there was something about the ship. Its design was sharp, angular, almost predatory in its own way. Its hull was scarred from past battles, but the scars seemed like badges rather than wounds. And the way it moved, steady, unshaken, deliberate, was unlike the panic the aliens expected. The alien fleet erupted with mocking laughter. Messages flew across their channels. This is their fleet? One ship, they insult us. They think this game will scare us. Commanders scoffed. Crews jeered. The arrogance was complete, yet silence held in the human ship. No words came. No surrender, no desperate call. Just the steady hum of its engines as it stood alone against an armada. Inside the alien command vessel, a high-ranking officer leaned forward in disbelief. One ship cannot stand against us. This is a trap. He ordered scans, desperate to find the hidden fleet. But the scans came back empty. No fleet, no ambush. Just one human ship. And in that moment, doubt began to stir. The crew of the alien flagship stared at the single vessel, watching its weapons power up, glowing faintly along its hull. A silence spread among the aliens. The mocking laughter slowly died. For the first time, they wondered, why would humanity send only one ship? The answer lay inside the vessel itself. Its name was Defiance. To the human crew, this battle was not about numbers. It was about a message. They knew the alien fleet expected to crush them, expected them to bring thousands of ships to match thousands. But humanity had chosen another path. They had built Defiance for this very reason, not to fight as one among many, but to stand as the weapon that could turn fear against an empire. On the bridge of Defiance, the captain stood tall. His eyes never left the endless wall of alien ships before him. Around him, the crew worked in silence. Their hands moved across controls, their faces calm, their breath steady. Fear was present, yes, but so was something stronger. Resolve. They knew they were outnumbered, but that was the point. One ship against a fleet, one voice against a roar. Status? The captain asked quietly. All systems ready, came the reply. He nodded once. Outside the viewport, the alien fleet shimmered with menace, but he saw it differently. He saw targets, not threats. He saw a chance for humanity to prove what it truly was. He saw the storm, and he was ready to walk into it. The alien commanders sent their demands at last. Surrender your vessel. Surrender your world. Or be destroyed. Their voices were thunder, carried across the void with false power. On Defiance, the crew listened. They heard the words, and then silence again. The captain gave no reply. His voice did not echo back across the comms. Instead, he spoke only to his crew. Prepare for engagement. Those words marked the true beginning. Engines roared, systems powered to full, and the stars lit with the glow of war. The alien fleet had expected a massive battle, thousands of ships clashing. Instead, they faced something stranger, something far more terrifying. They faced one ship, and the storm had only just begun. The ship called Defiance. The ship's name echoed inside the minds of its crew. Defiance. A word chosen with care. A word meant to carry the weight of humanity's will. It was not just a ship. It was a message carved into steel, powered by secrets no alien eye had ever seen. From the outside, Defiance did not look like much. Its frame was smaller than most alien cruisers. It had no towering spires, no golden banners of conquest, no glowing signs of empire. But every line of its design told a story. This ship had been built in silence, away from alien eyes, in secret yards deep within the shadows of human space. Engineers had worked in hidden stations, scientists had bent the limits of physics, and soldiers had poured their souls into creating something the galaxy was never meant to witness. Inside, the crew moved with discipline. They were not many, barely enough to fill the essential stations, but each one had been chosen for skill and loyalty. Their hearts beat steady, even though the odds outside told them death was certain. The alien fleet was a wall of firepower, thousands of ships each bristling with weapons, and yet here they were, preparing to face it all. The captain of Defiance stood at the center of the bridge. He was not young. His face carried lines carved by years of service, and his eyes had seen too many wars. But there was no fear in him. His voice was calm, his orders quiet but firm. Every word he spoke carried weight, and every crew member trusted him without question. Power. Core stable, said the engineer. Weapon systems charged, added the tactical. Officer. Shields holding strong, confirmed the defense. Officer. The captain gave a single nod. His gaze remained locked on the massive wall of alien ships. To any outsider, the sight would feel overwhelming. But to him it was only another battle, one that had to be fought no matter the cost. Across the void, the alien fleet prepared their first strike. Their commanders were insulted. To face an entire armada with one ship was madness. To them it was arrogance beyond reason. They promised each other quick victory, but in their arrogance they had already failed to see the truth. Defiance was not a normal ship. Its weapons were not designed for equal battles. They were designed to break empires. Its engines could outmaneuver fleets. Its hull carried armor layered with human ingenuity and stolen alien tech, repurposed in ways the original inventors never imagined. Every system inside had been tuned to perfection, every wire tested, every circuit doubled. This was not a warship built to join a fleet. This was a warship built to be the fleet. The crew knew this, and yet they also knew the risk. One mistake, one failure, and they would be gone. But fear was not what filled the air. It was something else, an almost quiet pride. Humanity had always been underestimated. Other species called them reckless, fragile, too young to survive in the stars. But history had proven something again and again. Humans never gave up. The captain spoke again, his voice low but clear. Do not look at their numbers. Look at me, look at this ship. Today we are not outnumbered. Today we are Defiance, the word spread like fire. Around the bridge, faces tightened with determination. Hands moved faster, sharper, steadier. Every heartbeat in unison with the captain's command. In the alien command vessel, confusion spread. Scanners reported strange readings. The human ship's systems pulsed with energy levels higher than expected. Its shields glowed with strength beyond known design. Some alien officers whispered warnings, but their commander silenced them with anger. It is one ship. Nothing more. Prepare to strike. Their arrogance blinded them. On Defiance, silence held. The crew waited for the first attack. Lights blinked across consoles. Soft hums filled the air, and the sound of power running through the ship was steady as a heartbeat. The captain raised his hand, then lowered it slowly. Hold position, he said. It was a dangerous order. Any other commander would have moved, dodged, or fled. But not here, not now. This was a battle of will. To move first would mean fear. To hold steady meant strength. And so the lone ship remained, facing a sea of enemies waiting for the storm to break. Finally, the alien fleet fired. Dozens of ships lit up, their weapons launching bolts of energy across the void. The barrage blazed bright, a wall of fire racing toward Defiance. To the alien crews, it was already over. No ship could survive such power. But inside Defiance, the crew did not flinch. Shields roared to life, glowing bright against the black. The impact came, shaking the vessel, but the ship held. Alarms rang, lights flickered, yet the systems endured. What should have torn the vessel apart was absorbed, bent, and broken against the human ship's defenses. The alien laughter died instantly. On the bridge of Defiance, the captain did not move. His voice was steady. "Now," he said. Weapons fired. The first human strike cut through the void with a scream of light. It tore past the alien lines and smashed into a warship twice the size of Defiance. In a single heartbeat, the ship was gone. Ripped apart by a weapon the aliens had never seen before. Pieces of burning metal scattered into the stars. Silence filled the alien fleet. Shock rippled through their ranks. One ship had just destroyed what they believed untouchable. And so the galaxy began to understand what the word Defiance truly meant. The first strike, the alien fleet hung in silence. The wreckage of their destroyed warship floated among them, burning pieces glowing faintly against the stars. What had been arrogance only minutes ago was now disbelief. Entire squadrons stared at the empty space where one of their strongest vessels had been, trying to understand how it was destroyed so easily. Inside the command ship of the alien fleet, voices rose in anger. Impossible. It was one shot. No human ship can fire with that much power. Yet the evidence drifted outside their windows, undeniable and horrifying. The commander slammed his fist on the console. It was luck. One lucky strike. "Prepare the fleet, surround that vessel, and erase it." His words carried false confidence. Deep inside, even he could not explain what he had just seen. Meanwhile, aboard Defiance, the crew remained silent. No one cheered. No one celebrated. They all knew the truth. This battle had only begun. Destroying one ship was nothing compared to the thousands that remained. But there was something else in their silence, too. Resolve. The first strike had worked. The ship's weapons were everything humanity had hoped for. The captain stood tall, his eyes locked on the shifting alien formation. "Reload. Target the next." "Aye, Captain," the weapons officer replied, his hands moving quickly across the console. Outside, the aliens moved. Their ships spread out, circling Defiance like wolves around a lone hunter. They believed that sheer numbers would crush the human ship. Dozens of vessels opened fire at once. Bolts of energy screamed through the void, turning the darkness into a storm of light. Defiance moved. Unlike the alien ships, heavy and predictable, the human vessel darted like a predator. Its engines blazed, weaving through the storm, sliding between deadly shots with impossible precision. Shields flared with each near hit, but the ship kept moving, never still, never caught. To the aliens, it looked less like a vessel and more like something alive. The crew of Defiance felt the shudder of every impact, but they did not falter. The pilot's hands danced, steering the ship through chaos. The tactical officer called out targets, each one marked and locked in seconds. The captain gave the order, and once again the weapons fired. Another alien warship vanished in a flash of light. Then another. Each shot from Defiance was precise, deliberate, final. The alien fleet reeled in shock. Ships tried to retreat. Others charged forward blindly, their discipline breaking apart under fear. The commander screamed orders demanding control, but panic had already begun to spread. "This is not possible," whispered one alien officer. "One ship cannot do this." But Defiance was not just a ship. It was the sum of humanity's defiance against extinction. It carried weapons the aliens had never faced, strategies no other species dared attempt. Humanity had always fought against impossible odds, on Earth, in the colonies, and now among the stars. And time after time they had survived. Defiance was built with that spirit. It was not here to fight fairly. It was here to change the meaning of fear. On the bridge of Defiance, the captain's eyes narrowed. Sweat glistened on his forehead, but his voice remained calm. "Maintain formation. Strike again." The crew answered with sharp precision. Another volley fired, tearing into the alien ranks. The void filled with burning debris, the silence of space broken only by the shockwaves of destruction. By now, the aliens had lost several ships. Their numbers were still overwhelming, but their confidence was bleeding away with every explosion. For the first time, the predators of the galaxy knew what it meant to be prey. The commander of the alien armada tried one last tactic. He ordered a full swarm assault, hundreds of ships rushing forward to drown Defiance under pure numbers. The space around the human vessel filled with enemy fire. The stars themselves seemed to vanish under the storm. But Defiance did not fall. Its engines roared louder, driving it forward. It spun through the chaos, every turn a razor's edge between life and death. Its weapons fired in rapid bursts, each shot carving through enemy ships like blades through glass. The ship moved with purpose, its crew working as one mind, one heartbeat. On alien channels, terror spread. It is everywhere. We cannot hit it. How does one ship destroy so many? For the first time in their history, the alien fleet began to feel something they had never known in battle. Hesitation. On Defiance, the captain whispered to himself, words only his crew could hear. Let them see. Let them learn. And the galaxy did learn. Every destroyed alien vessel sent a message across the stars. This was not just a fight. This was a warning. Humanity had arrived. Humanity would not kneel. By the end of the first strike, the battlefield looked different. What had once been an unstoppable fleet was now scattered, broken in places and shaken in spirit. Wreckage floated like silent tombs across the void, and in the center of it all, the lone human ship stood unbroken, glowing with power, defying the impossible. The captain gave his final order of the engagement. His voice was calm, but inside it carried thunder. Hold position. Let them come. And so the aliens stared across the void, no longer laughing, no longer mocking. The arrogance was gone. In its place was fear, cold, deep, and growing because they had just learned the truth. One ship was enough. The turning tide, the battlefield burned with wreckage. Pieces of alien warships drifted like broken bones across the stars. Defiance moved among them, scarred but unbroken, its engines glowing steady, its weapons still hot. For the aliens, disbelief had turned to rage. Their commanders shouted across channels, their pride wounded beyond repair. They had never faced defeat like this, not from one ship, not from a species they considered weak. To lose here would mean shame before the entire galaxy, and so desperation filled their ranks. The alien commander gave a new order. All ships, surround it. Crush it with fire. The fleet obeyed. Hundreds of ships closed in from all directions. A storm of energy blasts filled the void, each one meant to erase Defiance completely. The darkness of space lit up as if stars were being born, but instead of creation, it was destruction raining down. Inside Defiance, alarms blared. Shields flared bright, straining against the endless impacts. The deck shook beneath the crew's boots. Consoles flashed red. The sound of systems overheating filled the air. For a moment, it felt like the ship might not survive. But the captain's voice cut through the chaos, calm, steady, unshaken. Hold focus fire. Target their formation leaders. His words steadied the crew. The tactical officer marked targets. The pilot twisted the ship through impossible maneuvers, and the gunners answered with fire. A beam of light tore across the battlefield, striking an alien command ship. The vessel exploded, its destruction sending confusion through the fleet. Then another leader fell, then another. The aliens' formation broke apart. What had been a storm of fire became scattered and desperate. Their perfect order collapsed into chaos. Defiance cut through them like a blade, every shot carving deeper into the fleet's spirit. On alien channels, voices shook with fear. We cannot hold them. This is madness. How do they fight like this? The commander raged, his words sharp with fury. They are one ship. One, do not falter. But even as he spoke, he could not stop the truth forming in every alien heart. This was not a normal battle. This was something worse, something legendary. Back on Defiance, the crew pushed themselves harder. Sweat ran down their faces, their hands ached from endless movement, but no one slowed. They fought like machines, every order answered without hesitation. They knew the danger. They knew the odds. And yet they did not back down. Shields at 60%. The defense officer called out. Keep them balanced, the captain replied. Redirect power. Do not give them the satisfaction. The engineer's hands flew across controls, diverting energy, patching systems, forcing the ship to keep moving when by all logic it should have fallen. Outside, the battle grew stranger. Alien ships began pulling back, retreating in small groups. Others charged forward recklessly, trying to prove themselves only to be destroyed in blinding flashes. Fear and anger clashed among them, breaking their unity, and still Defiance remained. The turning point came when a squadron of alien heavy cruisers launched a coordinated strike. They surrounded Defiance from 3 sides, their cannons charging for a combined blast. It was a trap meant to end the fight in one shot. The captain saw it. His eyes narrowed, his voice calm. All power to engines. Prepare evasive. The pilot's hands gripped the controls. At the last second, as the alien cannons fired, Defiance spun sharply upward. The blasts missed, colliding into each other. The shockwave ripped through the alien cruisers, destroying them all in an instant. Silence followed. The trap had killed their own ships. On alien channels, horror spread like wildfire. Entire crews froze at their stations, their courage collapsing. To them, it no longer felt like they were fighting a human vessel. It felt like they were fighting fate itself. The captain of Defiance gave his next order softly, but it carried the weight of thunder. Advance. The ship surged forward, cutting into the heart of the alien fleet. Every shot it fired was another wound to their pride, another reminder that numbers meant nothing without resolve. The aliens tried again and again, but nothing worked. Their formations failed, their weapons missed, their spirits broke, and so the tide turned. The fleet that had come to crush humanity now fought only to survive. What had been a storm of arrogance was now a sea of fear. Commanders argued, crews panicked, and whispers spread like shadows. If one ship can do this, what will happen if humans bring more? Back on Defiance, the captain stood silent, watching the enemy crumble. He did not smile. He did not cheer. He only gave one more order: hold the line. And so they did. One ship against thousands, standing tall, unbroken, unyielding. The galaxy had never seen such defiance. One ship. Endless fear. The battlefield was silent now, except for the faint crackle of wreckage burning in the void. What had begun as an unstoppable armada now looked broken, scattered and humiliated. Dozens of alien ships had been destroyed. Many more drifted damaged, their weapons silenced. And in the center of it all stood one human vessel, scarred but unbroken. Defiance. The alien commander's voice shook with rage. He shouted orders, demanded new attacks, but the will of his fleet was gone. Crews whispered in fear. Captains hesitated. The pride of their empire, their belief in endless power, had been shattered by a single ship. Inside the alien command vessel, silence spread across the bridge. Officers avoided their commander's eyes. No one wanted to give the order to retreat, but every one of them felt it in their hearts. They had lost. On Defiance, the crew held their stations. The air smelled of heat and burned circuits. Shields were cracked, systems strained, but the ship was alive. Every crew member felt the weight of what they had done. Against thousands they had endured. Against arrogance they had stood unbroken. The captain looked out at the broken fleet. His face was hard, his eyes tired, but there was no pride in his voice, only steel. Do not pursue. Hold position. The crew obeyed. No cheers rose, no celebration. They knew this battle was not just about victory. It was about sending a message. Across the alien fleet, retreat began quietly. First one ship pulled back, then another. Soon, entire groups were fleeing into the dark, engines burning as they tried to escape the shadow of Defiance. No order was given. It was fear that drove them. For the first time in their history, the predators of the galaxy had become prey. Alien broadcasts echoed with disbelief. One ship. It is only one ship. The words repeated, growing into a whisper that spread through the fleet like fire. Every surviving crew would carry that memory back to their worlds. Every world would hear the same story. Humanity sent one ship and it destroyed an armada. On the bridge of Defiance, the captain closed his eyes for a brief moment. He thought of the colonies below, the people who had been waiting in fear, the children who would sleep safely tonight because of what his ship had done. He thought of Earth far away, unaware of what had just been written in the stars. He opened his eyes again. Begin recovery. Tend to the wounded. Secure the ship. The crew moved at once, their motions slower now but steady. They had survived the impossible, but they knew the war was not over. More fleets would come. More battles would test them. But tonight they had proven the truth. Defiance was not just a ship. It was humanity itself. In the alien capital, days later, reports would arrive. Commanders would argue, leaders would rage, and fear would spread. They would question every plan, every invasion, every belief in their superiority. And always one question would remain. If one human ship could do this, what would happen if an entire human fleet arrived? That question alone was enough to shake empires. For humanity, the legend of defiance spread in silence. The story was carried not in speeches or parades, but in whispers, in the eyes of soldiers, in the quiet strength of colonists who knew they were not alone. One ship had stood against thousands. One ship had shown the galaxy that humanity would never kneel, and somewhere deep in the black, defiance drifted on. Its engines hummed low, its hull marked by battle, its crew still at their posts. They did not see themselves as heroes. They were only doing what humans had always done, fighting when no one believed they could win. The stars around them glimmered cold and endless. The wreckage of the alien fleet floated like ghosts, reminders of arrogance and failure. And in the quiet of space, the human ship carried its message across the dark. One ship had been enough, and the galaxy would never forget it.